NAMI started in 1979. It started with a parent who understood the need for mental health services for her child, but couldn't get those services. We pride ourselves on being the largest grassroots mental health organization in the country. But on a local level, we are the roots. We are the grassroots. We're the ones that are connected to the people.
NAMI provides support group services both for those who are supporting someone living with a mental illness as well as those who are living with a mental illness. They also provide something called a family match where someone can be trained with an individual that's going through a mental health journey that just kind of needs some coaching. They provide Family-to-Family, which is an 8-week course to help families kind of know how to support their loved one living with a mental illness.
And the family member part is very important because oftentimes a family member can recognize the changes in an individual before they recognize it in themselves. So we have a lot of signature programs, and then we have a lot of local programs that our affiliate does. We go out into the community and talk about mental health 101, suicide prevention, self-care, mental health in the workplace. We offer a lot. So if it has to do with mental health and there's a way for us to get in front of an audience, we'll make that happen.
Another one that NAMI provides that I've been a part of is called Ending the Silence, and that's a free 50-minute presentation where a lead presenter and a young adult presenter will go into schools, usually in person or virtually, and that program is designed to help students become aware of the signs and symptoms of a mental illness and suicide and how to respond to both of those.
Some of the things that I do for NAMI is being a young adult presenter for NAMI's Ending the Silence presentations, primarily focusing on kind of just my own personal story and some of my coping strategies that I've instilled and used in my life today. There's multiple different reasons why I like to do it, but one of the main reasons that I strongly enjoy sharing my story and being a young adult presenter for NAMI is when I was younger, I had situations where I was going through some depression, some anxiety, and I didn't fully understand what was going on. It wasn't until later in my life I got a clearer picture of what was going on. And a lot of students, I think, being able to hear someone else's story and kind of, it gives you a sense of, you're not alone. So something I found with giving presentations with NAMI's Ending the Silence is there's a lot of stigma around mental health, and a lot of students, they have bits and pieces of information that they've heard or observed from, whether it's on social media or on television, and a lot of things I think are very heavily misconstrued when it comes to mental health diagnoses.
I believe there is a stigma. I'm an educator, and I've observed in my years of teaching that students just want to look like everybody else. They don't want to stand out in any way. And so the Ending the Silence presentation breaks down those barriers, especially when they hear the statistics of how prevalent mental health conditions are. Even if they don't see the relevance of it right now, that they're going to remember something I said when they get a few years down the road, and they're going to say, oh, I remember that presentation that came, and I remember that young adult presenter, and they will have some skills at least to know to reach out to NAMI and say, I need some help. And so that's why getting this information into the youth is so important. But I do want to say that one reason my husband and I got involved with NAMI is that when we were in a crisis moment with our son who had a mental health emergency, there were NAMI brochures in a hospital waiting room, and that's how we found out about NAMI and its resources. And so because NAMI has provided a safe haven for us and helpful information for us and people who are willing to walk with us on this journey, that's why we are such big advocates for NAMI.
I see NAMI's impact all the time. I see NAMI's impact in our support groups. I see NAMI's impact in our activities that we do. To see people that come to our support groups and have absolutely no direction, no hope, and are just kind of going through the motions, and then the next thing you know, months later, they're bringing someone else to the support group, and they're talking about how it helped them and how it took them out of their dark place, and how they're basically still here because of NAMI and the support that they received.